I'm going to show you a method for doing harder multiplications, and this method is often referred to as the lattice method, and you'll probably come to see why as we go along. This is the method that I often share with my students because I think it's the easiest for people to master. So to start with, we've got to create a grid. In this case, we need to create a 3 by 2 grid because we've got a 3-digit number and a 2-digit number. If you have a different size sum, then obviously you create a different size grid. So we're going to do it long this way and shorter that way. So I'm going to put my 2-digit number across the top, and I'm going to put a line down the middle between those, and I'm going to put my 3-digit number down this side. It must be on this right hand side. And again, we're going to form our grid up by putting the lines in between where the numbers are. Now this is where we're going to turn it into a lattice. The lines must go from the bottom to the top of each square in this direction. So this is where it gets that name lattice, because it looks like a lattice window effect. Okay, so now we're going to start filling in this grid. Now each box, each square, needs to have the answer to one times table question. So this box here needs the answer to 3 times 3. So you know which question you need by looking straight above and straight to the side. So it's 3 times 3 needs to go in here, which is 9. So we're going to write that 9 down here, because we always write the units part at the bottom and the tens part at the top. In this case, we haven't got a tens part, but some people like to fill everything in, so you could put a 0 there. So I'll move across here, although you can do these in any order you fancy. So this one has got a 9 above it and a 3 to the side of it, so we need to do 9 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27, so we write that like this. You'll see it's quite natural to write 27 that way. If we wrote the numbers the other way round, it really would look like 72. So this box here has got 3 above, 4 to the side, so it's 3 times 4, which is 12. Here we've got 9 times 4, which is 36. And then here we've got 3 times 3 again. So we've got lucky here, we can just copy. And here we've got 9 times 3, which is 27. So we've now finished the part where we're using our times tables. This is where those lovely diagonals are going to come into play. And a lot of people find it easier to see this next section if they extend those diagonals out. So we're going to do the adding steps now. So the first part, we start at the bottom here, and we don't have to add anything. We've just got 7 on its own. So that 7 goes here, and that will be the units part of your answer, the end of your answer. So we move along to this next diagonal here, and we need to add up these 3 numbers together. So 9 and 2 make 11, plus 6 makes 17. Now, like with normal adding, we're only actually going to write the 7 here, and we're going to carry the 1. Now, I like to pop it in here so that I don't forget it. So now we move on to this next diagonal. So I've got 1 and 2, which makes 3, plus another 3, which makes 6, plus 7, which makes 13. So I write the 3 part here and pop that extra 1 in here. So now let's add these up. We've got 1 and 1 that makes 2, plus 9 that makes 11, plus 2 more that makes 13. So we pop the 3 there and the 1 here. And then finally, we've got 1 and nothing, which makes 1. So that means that our final answer to 343 times 39 equals 13,377. So let's swap that one out, and I'm going to do 2 more examples just to help you really grasp this. So the next example I'm going to do is 246 times 659. So this has got a 3-digit number and a second 3-digit number, so we need more of a square this time. Don't be tempted to use a ruler to draw these out. Just practice. You'll get used to doing it in the end. So let's put the number 1 along the top and 1 down the right hand side. Remember, then the lines go in between the numbers. So, and then finally we do this lattice effect by doing the diagonals that go from the bottom to the top. If you're careful, you can kind of go all the way through, but you want to be fairly neat with it so that you don't end up with extra sections that you don't really want. So there we go, we're ready to start. So we're going to fill in our boxes here doing our times table facts. You really can do them in any order you fancy. So I'm going to do all the ones with the 2 times here. So we've got 2 times 6, first of all, which is 12. 2 times 5, which is 10. And then 2 times 9, which is 18. So now I'll do the 4s. So I've got 4 times 6, which is 24. 4 times 5, which is 20. And 4 times 9, which is 36. And then finally, 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 9 is 54. So now we're going to extend those diagonals out, ready for the adding stage. So we just copy the 4 across. In this diagonal, I've got 6 and 5. Do be careful that you don't add in the numbers outside the box. So 6 and 5 makes 11, so I put 1 there and 1 there to carry. So I've got 1 and 8, that's 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 6 is 21. So 1 here, and the 2, the tens part here. So 2 and 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12. So the 2 there and the 1 there. 1 and 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And then we've just got that 1 there. So the answer to this one is 162,114. Okay, so let me just do one last one. So we've got another 3-digit by 3 digits. So again, we're going to draw the box. When you get comfortable with it, it's often just easier to draw the box first of all and then put the numbers round, but as long as they all get there eventually, it doesn't matter. So just remembering that they must go this way and that you need 1 number across the top and the other number, down the side here. So again, you can fill them in any order you like. So let's say I fancy my 5 times table first. So this one is 5 times 6. And here I've got 5 times 3, which is 15. And then 5 times 4, which is 20. Then I'm going to have a bash at the 3s here. So we've got 3 times 6, which is 18. 3 times 3, which is 9. And 3 times 4, which is 12. So then we've got 9 times 6, which is 54. 9 times 3, which is 27. And 9 times 4, which is 36. So then we extend those diagonals out, We just pop that number straight down there. So here we've got 3 and 7, that makes 10. So 0 here and a 1 here. 1 and 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus another 4 makes 16. So 6 there and pop the 1 there. 1 and 1 is 2, plus 9 is 11, plus 1 more is 12, plus that 5, don't forget it, up there is 17. 1 and 8 is 9, plus 3 is 12. 1 and 1 is 2, so the answer to our question this time is 227,606.